Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan, and this is a video where if we told you even just 2-3 months ago that we'd be making a video about this topic, you'd be like, "What? There's no way." But yes, here we are in May of 2021 making a video about Tim Tebow signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars to play tight end. Again, just imagine if you heard that 2-3 months ago, a year ago, whatever, you'd just be like, "What?" So it's definitely surprising. This was rumored to happen for a while, but now it's going to be official. The signing will be made. So we're going to talk about it, our reaction to it, and what impact we think it could have for that Jaguars team on the field, but also in the locker room.
Yeah, I think an initial reaction for a lot of people, I mean, you got to think, oh, wow, that's cool. Tim Tebow's back. What was his phrase in college? Tebow time? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
And I think with the Broncos too or something.
Yeah. So it's cool to see him get back out there with the Jaguars. We'll see him hopefully suit up. But, I mean, there's still so much in question with this whole scenario that has to be answered. We don't know if he can be a starting tight end. Maybe if he'll play special teams. Who knows? He seems like he's still pretty athletic. He was playing baseball not too long ago. Now coming back to football, reuniting with Urban Meyer. But I think, as I said, at first glance, you got to go at least, okay, this is pretty cool.
It absolutely is really cool. And I think that just seeing Tim Tebow reunited with a guy that he has a background with in college with the coach Urban Meyer. And also, I just think the Jaguars team is going to be quite interesting. I think that they, are really going to be fun to watch with Trevor Lawrence there now, Tim Tebow, Urban Meyer, some fun free agency signings that they made, drafting Travis Etienne, which is something we didn't expect. So just adding Tim Tebow to the mix, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I would say I'd be rooting for him, but as a Texans fan, I can't too much. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I'm gonna watch it with great interest. I will watch your career with great interest, Tim Tebow.
I figured that one was gonna be coming.
Did you
I
get
got
it?
it.
Yeah,
I
okay,
got
good.
it.
Did you get it?
No.
That's disappointing. If any of you got that, let us know in the comments.
How did you not get that? Anyways, I did say earlier on, I thought it was pretty cool, but Jordan and I were having this conversation before the video started. He got unnecessarily infuriated at me for what I said, but I'm going to say it here again.
That happens.
On the record. I think the name Jordan was talking about, I'm sure he'll rebut what I'm about to say in a second. But with Tim Tebow, I'm sure there are better tight ends out there that aren't getting the chance, aren't being looked at the same way. And I think really it's just because the name that Tim Tebow has and the connection he has with Urban Meyer that's getting a chance to be out there and play. When there really are more deserving players, who knows? I could be wrong, and he could be a really good tight end. But he's older. It's obviously going to be later on in his career at this point. There's other guys that I feel like the Jaguars could have gone out and signed instead. This seems like kind of a publicity stunt to me to try and get more buzz for the Jaguars, but like I said,
they just got Trevor Lawrence though. Like that's all that's like the biggest publicity thing like in the history of that franchise.
But now they got Trevor Lawrence possibly throwing to Tim Tebow, which just ups it even more.
No, that's true, but I think that Trevor Lawrence is the main money grabber there.
Yeah, well, I mean, who's gonna say we can't get some more money?
No, again, Tebow, I don't disagree with what you're saying.
There's gonna be Tebow jerseys bought. I mean,
but I don't completely disagree with your point. I'm just saying that it's not like Tim Tebow is going to be the face of the franchise. That's Trevor Lawrence.
And like I said, also, Tebow could end up being a starting tight end in the league. Who knows? And I could be wrong saying it's just a publicity stunt. Maybe they see something in him. Just sitting here right now after the move, this is going to be coming out on Wednesday. So it's a little bit after at this point, but this is the day that it actually happened. We're recording this. I don't know. I just think it could be like, let's sign Tebow and see what happens so that people can start talking about us more. Well, here's my view on it. And what Tyler said is correct. Personally, I don't know if he'll be having a starting job. I think if he's good enough to get the job, give the man the job. If he's not good enough to get the job, if there's someone better, just like in any business anywhere, you give the better person the job. It's just simple. And so if he's not good enough to get this job, then he should not be starting tight end for the Jaguars. But I have no problem with them going out and signing a guy like this. Yes, it probably is a publicity stunt, but good for the Jaguars for doing something like that because their franchise for a while has been in the dirt. And now with Trevor Lawrence and with other things, they're really building up hype for not only their fan base, but across the league. Everyone is watching the Jaguars with eyes wide open. It's going to be fun to watch him, as Ryan said. New players, new head coach, it's just a whole different atmosphere there, and adding something like this is a good publicity stunt. And for Tebow, I've got no problem saying that just because he was a great quarterback in college and he was really known, that now he's getting this random opportunity that he might not deserve. Well, if you get your name out there in anything, if you're good enough, like Tim Tebow was, like let's not act like this guy is not a great athlete, wasn't a great quarterback. I mean, he built a name for himself, and when you build a name for yourself, you get opportunities. When you build relationships like the one he built with Urban Meyer, you get those opportunities, but you could also fail on opportunities in life. So you have to play good to actually win the starting job, because just because you have an opportunity, just because you have an interview for a job, doesn't mean you're going to get it unless you go out there and give it your best and show that you're the best one to do it. And so he's got to do that, but I have no problem with him getting this interview with the Jaguars. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to watch it.
I wouldn't really call it an interview. I mean, they signed him, so
They brought him in. I'm sure they had to have a physical. I'm sure they brought him in for a workout.
I'm saying we're past the interview phase now.
At this point, yeah, but at the end of the day,
you could always release him.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I don't think Tim Tebow's guaranteed anything. Like Jordan said, if he's not good enough, he should not be out there, and he should not just get a free pass because of his name. If there's 3 other tight ends on that roster better than him, then he should be the 4th tight end on the depth chart. I mean,
but just because he has a big name doesn't mean he can't be looked at. I think that
absolutely.
Because he has a big name, he's built this reputation for himself. He gets an opportunity to be atop the list, but just because you're atop the list doesn't mean you get the job. You have to actually show that you're continuing to be this athletic person you were, the player that you were, and even if you have great recommendations, like we've seen with Tebow, we're just referring to this as the job kind of now. You got great recommendations and stuff. Everyone's saying you're great. If they get in that interview room and they can't talk, they're saying things that are just completely opposite of what you want to hear, you best not hire them. And so if he's got all this reputation built around him now, if he gets to that point where he's trying to get a job with the Jaguars and he's not playing better than other people, then you best let those other people play.
Yeah, I mean, I get
Simple
what you're
stuff.
saying. It is a good point, but I think that it's a low risk thing.
Oh yeah, I like I said, I don't hate the move.
I don't think any of us hate it.
I don't hate it either. I'm just saying it could be unfair to other players.
But the reasons that why in July and August the rosters are expanded to 90 or whatever it is at some point, and you have all these training camps and preseason. It's so you could take a flyer on a guy like Tim Tebow, who has not played football in a while. Has not really played tight end. I mean, I don't think he did in college. I don't think he did in the NFL.
They were talking about him transiting to a tight end instead of playing quarterback in the NFL.
Okay. Yeah, and then that could be a part of it too. So I think that it's taking a flyer on a guy. Yes, there's some publicity that comes with it. That certainly helps an organization financially and just with national media attention. But I mean, I know you guys kind of brought it up earlier in the video, kind of using his age against him. But I mean, Jacksonville is a young team, and Tim Tebow, he's very experienced, a lot of college experience, NFL experience, played baseball, so been around a lot of different situations, well respected around the league. He's been doing a lot of great things off the field during his time away from football. So I really think he could be a role model, leader type guy in that locker room as well. Which that might sound dumb, but when you have a new head coach, a new QB1, a new identity for your team, a culture is going to have to be built. And I think that Tim Tebow, even if he's not, starting every game, even if he becomes the 3rd string tight end, I think just having him in the room, maybe to talk to Trevor Lawrence, because Tebow still was a quarterback in some high pressure situations. Not that Trevor's not experienced with that, but still that guy that could be there to help him in the transition process, or the other tight ends he could be working with. I just think he'd be a great guy. Obviously, I've never met him, but just seeing the things he's done off the field, seeing his reputation that he's earned, and the great things that he does, I think he could be really a fantastic role model for Jaguars players to look up to. A locker room presence, a leader, a role model, and really a guy who could be a tone setter and culture builder in the locker room.
Yeah, and just as a general comparison, you can compare it to a guy like Mark Ingram. I mean,
yes,
I personally am upset that Ingram didn't get as many opportunities with the Ravens last year, and now obviously he's with Ryan's Texans. But even if he doesn't get opportunities as a starter for the Texans, this guy is a culture builder. People like him.
And they need that.
They need that, exactly.
Because there's a new coach, new GM, a lot of bad things. And this is Jacksonville. New coach, new era.
When you're having 3rd-string players, if you're a 3rd-string player, you're not going to get there solely based off your talent. You're going to get there based off of just things like that. How much of a leader are you? That's what really sets people above to make teams.
Yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying, Ryan. The point you made was something I was about to say, say maybe they're signing him to be a locker room type of guy. If he makes a team, he could be someone, we saw the hype videos that he had with Florida back in his college days. Someone that can, like you said, help Trevor Lawrence out in any way he can, or help the tight end room out, or just the offense in general with the veteran experience.
Yeah.
Or
in life even as well, this could be something
Absolutely.
where if it's not even just a publicity stunt, maybe they're saying, if we could get Tim Tebow in here and at least just have him in our locker room, that does play bigger implications than some might know. Even if he's not the starting tight end for the Jaguars, which I think is unlikely to actually be the case.
I mean, yeah,
I think
we
there's
never thought he'd
a
ever be a
deep locker room
Jacksonville Jaguar,
impact that he
so.
could have. Yeah, you never know at this point. But I think maybe this could turn into something where we see Tim Tebow. I think it was a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah.
For Tim Tebow. So let's say this year
I'm thinking of something. I want to see if you say what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
he starts with or doesn't start, but he's on the team, helping with the locker room next year with the Jaguars, and then maybe the year after that he talks to Urban Meyer and he gets a job on the coaching staff.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Something like that where he could maybe go into the quarterback room or the tight end room and help in that way. So it could be some way just for Tim Tebow to test out the waters. You can see he still has that interest in football. Come back, see if he wants to play, and maybe if he likes that more of a mentor role, he could go out and take that with the Jaguars. That's something I could see coming out of this, and that would be something that would make sense. Given the past that we've seen with Tim Tebow, we know he's good at football, especially in college he was. We know he's a good life mentor. I mean, I think that's where this could be leading to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one more thing here. What we said about that is great. Just want to go into his athletic ability real quick as we're probably getting towards the butt end of this video. In college, from 2006 to 2009, in 06, he had 469 rushing yards with 8 touchdowns. 07, 895 with 23 touchdowns on the ground. Then 673 yards with 12 touchdowns in 08, and in 09, his senior year, he had 910 rushing yards with 14 touchdowns. So this is a guy that, like we said before, we're not sure if he's going to be a starter, but if that is in really the intent of Tim Tebow, of Urban Meyer with bringing him in here, if the intent is to get this guy to start, then he certainly has things in the past that show some evidence that show that he could, be this athletic guy who could transition to a tight end position. Of course, we won't know that until we see him get back out there. We had questions with Gronk coming back, and he kind of proved us all wrong. I mean, I didn't think he was too good. It's not like he was the best tight end, but especially towards the end of the season, he really turned it up. He was more athletic than I thought. That could be something that we see with Tim Tebow. Not quite sure, but he does have the athletic ability to be a great player, and that's kind of where I'll leave it.
Yeah, and I just got to chime in here because we got to talk about something else that really matters right now: his baseball career. Last played in 2019 for the Syracuse Mets, so that's AAA. So he made it, just to the level below the, majors, which I think is pretty impressive. Worked his way up in that organization, just couldn't quite get to the MLB, then stopped playing baseball. And
what affiliate
we'll go
is
back
that
to
with?
What?
What team was it affiliated with?
The Mets.
It is the Mets?
Yes.
Okay. The name is the Mets, too?
Yeah.
They
Like
have the same name?
Yeah, like there's the Syracuse. Yeah.
It's just a different city.
Yeah, I believe. That's what I thought it was.
We're not very integrated into the
Let me see.
minor
Yeah,
league baseball.
Syracuse Mets. Okay. But anyway, let's just see what he did in the last season he played. 2019, let's see. 264 plate appearances, 39 hits. So not great. That
average.
average is 163 in 2019. So yeah, that's not great.
No.
The year before in Double-A Binghamton, he had a respectable 273. So I mean, he was able to be a sufficient regular starter Double-A baseball player. So that is pretty impressive, especially when you go from football to baseball. I mean, that's not easy to do.
Baseball doesn't take as much athletic ability as football. I'm sorry, baseball people, but it just doesn't. It's simple, but still.
Yeah.
He's been.
And a lot of MLB players have been playing, they started playing T-ball when they were 5. I don't know if that's the case with Tebow, but he was clearly training to play football for a while, played football, then reverted to baseball, now back to football after a hiatus. So yeah, I mean, again, if 1, 2, 3 months ago someone said, hey, Tim Tebow to the Jaguars, you'd be like, what? But crazy things happen in the NFL and in life. So here we are making a video about it.
Yeah, and that's where we stand right now. Tim Tebow, his career, we saw him with Florida be one of the most famous people really in the country with that famous or infamous team, however you want to think about it. Then his chance in the NFL didn't work out.
Solid meme I saw.
Then trying to get back to the MLB, that didn't quite work out. Now he's back into the NFL, so he's had quite the journey in his life. The next step for him, we hope it goes well. I mean, Ryan, you said you're a Texans fan,
Yeah.
but clearly we all hope the best for Tim Tebow.
Yes.
Unsure as to what that's going to be. We gave you guys our thoughts on what we think could happen.
Ready?
We're excited to see. I did that earlier on in the video. The nice Tebow stance right there.
Oh, yes.
I hope we can see that at some point, at least on the sideline or something. It'll be something fun to see, but it's going to be interesting. Tim Tebow signing with the Jaguars, something, as Ryan said, we didn't think we'd be saying really at all or at this point in the offseason. So that's where we stand right now. And
We're at
thank
the
you
point
guys.
where anything that they do, anything that any team does is talkable.
We're in that portion of the
we're in the
offseason.
dark
Yes.
pit of misery.
So thank you guys for watching this
Dilly.
video inside the dark pit of misery, as Jordan said. Please make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, go down and comment below. What do you think Tim Tebow is going to do with the Jaguars? We'd love to hear what you guys think. Want to have some conversation talking about whether you agree or disagree with what we said during this video. So go down below and comment your thoughts. Go check out our podcast and our Instagram, both just called The Touchdown Table. You can find the podcast anywhere podcasts are. And with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.